Welcome to Green TV, where we're more than just color. I'm your host, Ray Croft. Today we are discussing universities across Texas and their need to go LEED Gold certified. Our focus goes out to University of Texas at Arlington with an exclusive interview with John Hall, Vice President of Administration and Campus Operations, and a quote with Don Decker, Coordinator of the Campus Master Plan at UTA. Further discussions with our senior analyst, Taylor Alford and Jeff Bethke. But first, a word from our sponsors.
This production is brought to you by the Big Block of Ice, providing large blocks of ice to combat global warming. And we're back. Last week I spoke with Mr. John Hall on green spaces, water efficiency, and the energy efficiency of UTA's Campus Master Plan. Now to our first segment with Mr. John Hall on green spaces.
Take this street out, create a pedestrian linkage here back to the 2nd Street pedestrian mall area.
And this is the UC?
Yeah, that's the UC. And also take 8th Street out, create a pedestrian link there. And you start seeing these pedestrian linkages throughout the campus, tying in to, say, the Special Events Center down here at the south end of the campus. With regards to sustainability, more importantly, to tie in with redevelopment efforts that are 3 years to create that destination and then self-sustaining, self-supporting thereafter. So these pedestrian linkages coming up into the city from Oak Street as well as Center Street are important in connecting to such things as this urban park that will be created. We're also working closely with the city, who was awarded a grant from COG, from the North Texas Central Council of Governments. And part of it is a sustainability geared towards improving the infrastructure. So the idea is to work with the city on UTA Boulevard here from Cooper down to Center, narrowing that street, create a more pedestrian-friendly environment, maybe with a tree-lined boulevard down the middle, perhaps with street parking along the College Town area that we hope to develop. It would be retail and restaurants and housing above. But to also create a... And the other thing I was going to mention, that as we develop this linear park further through the campus, the idea is that not only with Doug Russell Park, which is existing, but also down here where this parking lot is currently, create larger green spaces or park areas off of that linear park. The idea here being is that we have events down here at the event center, either before or after events, students can kind of hang out and have other events in these park areas.
That's great. Thanks for looking out for the pedestrian. Now back to John with water efficiency.
It's really 2 parts. When we're talking about inside our buildings, examples include going to a more water conservation, 6 gallons per flush. We're also circulating our water systems through the buildings multiple times before sending the water back to the thermal energy plant.
Okay. Which is located on campus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually located over here by the, this is the University Center, and this is our, but then also outside of our buildings, we're looking at more zero-scape with our landscaping. And also as we look at LEED certification on new buildings, looking at creating, looking into the possibility of capturing rainwater. And so those I guess are 3 examples of things.
Rainwater harvesting? That's great, John. Lastly, I spoke with John Hall about energy efficiency, and here's what he had to say.
Our design guidelines and our specifications for our mechanical systems as well as our electrical systems and all of our new construction, as well as any major that were initially developed by the Governor's Energy Management Center. And these energy management systems basically are compliant with LEED certification. So a lot of what we do that's standard and typical in all of our design for construction and major renovations gets us a long ways towards silver LEED certification without really doing a whole lot more than what we already do. That's in place, that's connected to all of our major buildings. We also currently have an energy performance contract. We actually have records that date back to 1974 as far as energy conservation measures that we've undertaken here at the campus. We've participated in 2 Lone Star programs. And that's LOAN, as in it was through the Governor's Energy Management Center, where we had energy conservation retrofit measures implemented in existing buildings to conserve energy. We currently have, we're the only UT institution currently with an energy performance contract. That's an $18 million contract with 14 additional energy conservation retrofit measures to be implemented. And that was certified through Siemens as well as Carter and Burgess. So over a 7-year period, it has a savings or a payback of about $2.4 million per year. So the utility savings will pay back the debt on the improvements. And so, you know, it's a lot of the low-hanging fruit, so to speak, has been picked, and it's becoming more and more difficult. And with increasing our resident population, I think at some point that will be feasible. That's something we continually go back and look at. As part of the master plan, we also looked at the utility infrastructure. And as an example, with the MAC project over here at the Activity Center,
Right.
we're actually installing a couple of chillers over here that are going to backfeed the utility infrastructure, which will lessen the demand on the overall system.
That's great. It's good to know UTA is thinking about payback. Now for a further breakdown of the master plan, over to our senior analyst, Taylor Alford.
Thanks, Ray. And special thanks to the VP of Campus Operations, Mr. John Hall, for his clarification for the proposed integration of energy-efficient design in the new UTA master plan. Mr. Hall has emphasized 3 methods of conservation to be enacted campus-wide. The first, the development of green space. The second, the investigation of rainwater harvesting and water collection techniques. The third, the reduction of energy costs, as the prices of electricity and natural gas have continued to inflate. All this and more when we return. You are watching Green TV.
Green TV is also brought to you by Mr. Sunbeam, bringing bright rays of sunshine to the earth every day. Thank you, Mr. Sunbeam.
With the addition of a linear park system, UTA will develop a series of green spaces which connect and reconnect various parts of the campus via pedestrian walkways. This will in turn reduce the amount of paved surfaces campus-wide. To facilitate the implementation of these green spaces, UTA has proposed various rainwater harvesting and water collection techniques for many of the major academic buildings proposed to be built over the next 2 decades. By using roof catchment alone, this could lead to nearly 23 million gallons of water being recycled every year. In addition, this recycled water will be circulated throughout buildings and irrigate the landscape several times before being returned to the energy plant, this reducing the amount of water consumption across campus. While focusing on the addition of green spaces and water harvesting techniques, the university took a serious look at the total cost of energy in 2006, spending almost $5 million alone last year. With over 1 million square feet of new academic buildings being constructed and the price of energy on the rise, UTA has become the first school in the UT system to adopt an energy performance contract with Siemens. After revising UTA's energy-efficient proposals, Carter and Burgess certified their commitment to the further development of the campus's master plan. The performance contract will save UTA $16 million over the next 7 years. With these energy-efficient solutions implemented into the campus's master plan, the University of Texas at Arlington hopes to set the precedent for schools across the state. Back to you, Ray.
Thanks, Taylor. Now here's Jeff in the field with student interviews.
This is Jeff Bethke just outside the architecture building talking with Ronnie about the UTA master plan. Tell me what you know about the UTA master plan.
Essentially nothing.
Essentially nothing. Okay, as it pertains to sustainability, UTA is working with Seaman Corps and Carter Burgess on energy conservation. They're also considering rainwater harvesting for water conservation and creating more green space on campus by closing interior streets, and which will encourage walking and biking on campus. Do you think this is enough?
Personally, I don't think it's enough. I think that we can explore more ideas. Providing spaces for students. Closing off the streets is probably not a good idea because we have so many commuters. But I feel that the other areas that school's focusing on is
a step in the right direction. Okay, well, we're calling for, we have a petition here that going out to the Master Planning Subcommittee, which would make UTA have LEED certified gold buildings, which would do all the things they're doing now, but also improve indoor air quality and just improve site quality and landscaping and everything. Would you be willing to sign in this petition?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Great student input. Here on Green TV, we are pushing for a LEED Gold campus at UTA. Please visit our website and sign our petition. And remember, green is more than a color. From everyone here at Green TV, thanks for tuning in. You stay classy, UTA. I'm Ray Croft.